How are you?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him. And peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no doubt that Allah and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum. How the realization of death brings life to our hearts. This is my talk. You know, there is a saying in Arabic, say, لكل شيخ طريقة. Every person has his way in delivering his message. I personally, in many cases, as an academic, professor in university, I depend heavily on using real stories and specific to deliver the message. I do my best to find something that suits the topic, because as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَقْصُصِ الْقَصَصَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ إِنَّ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ لَعِبْرَةً. Verily, indeed, in telling their stories, there is a lesson behind it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran the meaning of the two verses. Now, let me just highlight before I start my story about the topic, which is how the realization of death brings life to our hearts. Now, the problem basically can be analyzed in a common sense, in a very simple way. We, in general, feel that sometimes our hearts are dead. So we need how to bring, metaphorically speaking, okay? It's not the physical death. We're talking about the spiritual death. It's not connected. It's not working properly. So how to bring back life, true life. So this is our target. This is our problem. I'm defining the problem now. And by the way, I used to say just I think yesterday in Masjid al-Rasid, one of the very beautiful statements in English that I love always to quote and to depend on is no definition, no prohibition. If we do not define what we are discussing, if we are not figuring out exactly what is the problem or what we are talking about, we might be wasting our time. So my problem in my talk, the core of my point, if my heart is dead, how to bring life to this? So my first question that should come to my mind is, why the heart is dead? Before I tackle the concept how to bring it back to life, but why aslan, why from the very beginning became dead? My simple answer, which I will start and give the justification as I understand, then I will bring the story, is simply this heart, okay, if it is connected to the dunya, most likely it will lose its life. It's completely connected to the dunya. If it is stuck, with this dunya, and look, in Arabic language, now about 40% of you, as I asked just maybe 2 hours ago, you understand Arabic. The rest they don't know. Now you hear the word dunya, okay? Now the root verb, the radicals of dunya is ad-dunu, which means the very low thing. So dunya, worldly life, means by default the very low thing. The thing that should be looked at down. By default, dunya is down. Wow, there is a message. There is a by default message. When this heart is connected to the dunya, most likely, high possibility, it's gonna lose its life. So my point is, okay, what shall I do? What can I do to, how to translate the, can you translate the, it is stuck, okay? I want to, what? Detach. It's connected, I want to disconnect. So this is my topic now. How to disconnect from dunya. How to live in the dunya, but not connected completely to the dunya. How to compromise, to keep in touch with dunya, but to be connected with akhirah. Okay? So this is the task of now. Now, let's go with this real history. It was narrated in one of the Da'iya's book. Sometimes I started not to say who's the Da'iya because we are not able to know who loves and who hates this person. One of the dua from the Arab world, he wrote in one of his books about this story. An Arab businessman from the oil countries who happened to be holding within himself some kind of love for Islam and Da'wah. He's a business person, he's not a Da'iya, but he holds the love for Islam. He was having some kind of medical treatment in one of the most expensive, prestigious hospitals in London. So when his appointment, the time of his appointment came, he was waiting for this great, well-known British professor. When he came to the clinic and he saw him wearing the white dishdasha with the cover of the head, which by default, you know, immediately he's an Arab from all countries, he's a Muslim, and, you know, this kind of stereotypes comes, okay, immediately to the mind. Look how he approached him. You are an Arab, true? Yes. You're a Muslim? Yes. Okay. As our Egyptian brother says, min al-akhir. You know min al-akhir? From the end, yani. Huh? Min al-akhir. He did not say it. This is my translation, okay? He said, look, you're a Muslim? Yes. Do you have a solution for my problem? What is your problem? He said, look, in brief, I'm a multimillionaire, very well known. And you know who am I? Of course I know. I'm paying, you know, thousands of dollars just to come and sit with you to treat me medically. I know who you are, طبعا I know. He said, you know how famous I am, what kind of prestigious status that I have. Yes, money. You know, I've tried tens of things in my life, seeking happiness, but I could not. So really, you know, I thought many times to commit suicide. I want to get rid of my life. So I tried to search everywhere for how to be happy. I couldn't. Do you have a solution? You Arabs, you Muslims, you whatever, you, Mr. White, Dishdasha, whatever. Do you have a solution? You know when someone's completely frustrated, okay? When, as we say, al-ghariq yata'allaq biqashsha. If I'm sinking now, about to lose my life, even I saw just a small straw, okay, it will not serve me, but what I do? As if he's saying in my language, look, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. I don't care anything. You are something new for me. Do you have a solution for me? I'm about to lose my life. I'm not able to taste anything has to do with happiness. Solution? Look how Allah guided this businessman to show him amazingly the answer. He said, look, before I gave you the answer, and I do have an answer for you, do you allow me to ask you some questions? Yes, go ahead. He said, excuse me, but if you want to enjoy your sight, إذا أردت أن تمتع نظرك, what do you do? He said, actually, I go to a very beautiful garden, I look at roses, or I look at beautiful women, okay, in his culture. Okay, if you want to enjoy your, okay, hearing, what do you do? He said, it's either I will listen to soft music, nice music, or at least music that I love. Okay, you want to enjoy your sense of smell. You know, what do you do? I smell rose, perfume that I like, blah, 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 etc. Okay, your taste, your stomach, I eat, blah, 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 etc. He said, okay. Second question, please, I beg your pardon, don't misunderstand me. Why not, if you want to enjoy your hearing, you eat a nice, delicious chocolate? He said, excuse me? He said, I'm asking you, why not, so that to enjoy the sense of hearing, you eat something delicious? He said, excuse me, this is two different areas, two different organs. What satisfies the taste and the stomach is food. What satisfies this is sound. So please don't mix. He said, okay, don't misunderstand me. Next question. If you want to enjoy having a very nice smell, why not to watch a nice movie? Are you aware of what you are doing with me? He said, please, you gave me the green light to ask you some questions. Why not? He said, does not make sense. Which is true, does not make sense. Okay, he asked him 3-4 questions, which is contradicting questions. If you want to enjoy this, why do you have this? If you want to enjoy this, why do you have this? Then again, he said, okay. Final question, please, I beg your pardon. Final question. Now, this kind of bad feeling that pushes you to a degree that you might commit suicide. Do you have it in your sight? No. Hearing? No. Nose? No. Taste? Where? He said, in my heart. I said, okay. If you agree with me that this sense has its own feeding system, this has its own feeding system, this has its own feeding system, this has its own feeding system, so that will be satisfied. What is it? To be connected with the one who created it. Nukta. That's it. This is how you feel happy. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. He said he was shocked. What are you talking? He said, he asked me to bring him some books, some kind of things to read about this religion. He said, I brought him the books. I don't know what happened with him after that. The story is finished now. Now, my citing point, the focus point in this heart, so that to be in highest status, the best capacity, the best performing status, it should be connected properly with the right plug-in system. Otherwise, wasting your time. That's why we see a lot of people doing a lot of things, but it's not connected properly. It's connected with something else. It's like, for example, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Can we use the Apple Macintosh laptops software system on the for example, or these programs, for example, the Windows system, the two different operating system. I think the iOS, the iOS, for example, on the Windows, for example, or iOS compared with the iPhone system, with the with the Android, two different softwares, two different operating systems. So you can't bring a software which is not compatible. If that's not compatible, it will not work. From this story, I will start and I will build my points. Let's go back to the title and to the aim of our talk. The title is what? How realization of death brings life to our hearts. Our first point was what? What makes my heart dead aslan? We said if it is stuck to the dunya, okay, the very low thing. So our point was to separate, to detach. Okay? Now, next point it was, you need to realize that this system should be operated properly by being connected with the Creator. Someone will say, excuse me, sir, excuse me. We know millions of people now. They are not connected properly. They are living a very nice life. So it's not a true story or not true common sense that you are claiming. Look at the people around us enjoying their lives. I said, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Who loves at the end. Who loves at the end loves much. Don't judge things while it's too early. Now go to in-depth those people. What is the average of suicide committing? What is the percentage of psychological problems? What is the disasters of the destruction in psychological, social, mental problems with those who are not connected? You're alive. No, please, let me give you just a simple example from my experience in the UK. I did my PhD in the UK, about 20 years ago, in 1997 to 2003. I I lived in Birmingham, the second largest city after London. According to my readings at that time, the UK, the population of the UK, it was 65 millions. Now, 15 millions of them, they were above 65. The majority of them, they were living alone. Okay? Now, I became used to the following amazing fact, like a normal thing, which is the fact. When you wake up, 20 years ago, it was very common to have newspapers, okay? You don't have the social media. Now, the newspapers, for example, is it something strange to read in the newspaper on daily basis, someone is, for example, putting an ad to sell his car? Is it something strange? Someone would like to buy a car or to sell a car. Is it something strange? Okay. More or less, something similar to this, we used to read nearly on daily basis about the sometimes tens, sometimes huge numbers of those people who passed away 18 days ago, 15 days ago, 25 days ago. They became completely, rotten, we say, ta'affin. Completely, no one knows that they have lost their lives because there is no one with them. They are living alone. Is it something that, wallahi, it became normal for us? Is this a destruction for humanity or not? To lose hundreds of people on a weekly or monthly basis simply because they die, no one with them. What do you mean, Sheikh? I mean, look, how they reached this. Go with the roots now, let's dig. The problem of the family. Okay? Like, why the problem of the family? Why I'm supposed to live? How many of us, you were attending my first session? You remember? We were talking about what? How to view death. Connecting with the hereafter, with the system, completely. Like, if they are happy, can anyone tell me that this is happiness? When you go out a country, for example, about maybe 20, 25 years ago, I read for many years it happened, not now, more than 15 years, between 15 to 20 years, it happened for many years. One of the highest suicide rate of committing suicide, it was Sweden. Sweden is known as one of the best countries in terms of the personal income rates. One of the best countries in this. In the same time, I'm trying to connect now. When you read at that time, more than 15 years ago, it's old things, but I'm making benefit of it. At that time, I remember I was reading one of the highest rate of atheism and completely denying the concept of faith amongst Europe. It was in Sweden. 82% at that time of Swedish people, they were atheists. In the same time, the highest income rates in Europe at that time, Sweden, one of the highest suicide rate of committing suicide was Sweden. I mean, if the problem is solved because of materialism, why the highest rate of suicide? If the problem is materialistic, satisfaction is there, but why they are killing themselves? You tell me, and I don't have an answer, I'm just asking you. Is it related to the level of atheism? There is a high possibility, because numbers sometimes could be analyzed. I'm just giving an idea, because when someone tells me, Ya Ammi, you are giving us to say faith, love, wait. Many people, they are living, they're very happy. No, sorry, this is not the true happiness. As long as it's limited, and when you go in depth, many people, they have a miserable life. Socially, no families, drugs, blah, 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 etc. Now put the full package, then judge. But don't just look to one simple or two simple or 10% aspects of the life and say, look, this is happiness. Yani, who said, happiness basically is just to have a nice car, nice clothing, a good amount of money? Who said? Who said this? Who can claim that this is the end of the story? No. We are talking much more. That's why in my first segment, if you remember, we were saying, look, our way of, when you judge something, please look to the full spectrum, the full wide image. We believe in worldly life, barzakh, which is the burial, and the hereafter. Now, if you want to judge something, when you say, MashaAllah, this is the true happiness, if it will vanish in 2 years, so what's the point? طيب, okay, I could not be happy in your mathematical, in your materialistic, for example, calculations. But I started to become happy, let's say after death. شوف المجنون, شوف الأهبل, look this stupid idiot person, after death. Okay, no problem. I have no problem to call me idiot, no problem. But when the angel of death comes, we will see what will happen. Wallahi, by the way, I'm telling you, this. I believe in this. If you want just to put all of your measurements and judgments, that this world life, you give me the guarantee to keep your soul in your body just for tomorrow. Give me the guarantee. I will worship you. I will commit kufr against Allah. Who can guarantee? Some people they say, wow, معقول? Yes, معقول. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ إِن كَانَ لِلرَّحْمَنِ وَلَدْ فَأَنَا أَوَّلُ الْعَابِدِينَ. Allah is teaching Prophet Muhammad to challenge the people around him. If anyone can prove to you that Allah does have a son, I, Muhammad, will be the first worshipper. And I'm telling you, if anyone can play the role of Allah and can guarantee 100% and can convince me that he can keep my life to a certain time and he controls it, wallahi, I will worship him. Because simply, you know what I will do? If I know when I will die, I can do whatever I would like to do, and I repent before the end of my life, because I'm controlling. Why not? I will go and enjoy my life, do all of the haram things, and the last 1 year of my life, I will put this thing, I will go to the Kaaba, I'll do the Hajj. Why not? Logically speaking, if I know when I will pass away, and I'm controlling this, why not to enjoy everything I would love? Then the last 10% of my life, I will do repentance, okay? 100 rak'ah each day. I will do each year 5 umrah, and I will do each year Hajj. I will keep cleansing, and I know exactly when the angel will come. When he comes, I say, my record is clear. I know what I have done. اتفضل يلا اقبض. I'm not joking. If I can control it, why not to do it? سؤال. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging us by saying, وَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. Otherwise, we will challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by, as if we will, be challenging. Okay, I know when I will die, I will do whatever I want, then I will repent. Okay, I did repent. يلا تفضل اغفر لي. We will be challenging Allah. That's why, by the way, one of the greatest things that Allah has blessed us with is not to know when we will die. To keep ready, stand by all the time. Otherwise, we will be the amazing arrogance with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if someone can guarantee something else, let him now come and say, okay, I can guarantee you. Give me the evidence for your guarantee. Okay, I will worship you. And I'm not joking. You can't. I'm telling you because none of us can. None of us can. So therefore, you see, we go back to the concept, how we view this, how we look to this. Now, coming back to the next point. Break hearts. Now, detaching myself, taking this device, if I may put it this way, this tool to be connected. But how to detach now, after understanding the concept? I will give you some kind of golden rules from the Sunnah, for example, from the logical thinking as well, and from the Tabi'een and the Sahaba, the followers, the companions of Prophet Muhammad or the followers of the companions of Prophet Muhammad. In an amazing hadith, Prophet Muhammad says, أكثروا من ذكر ها دم اللذات. In another narration, ها زم اللذات. In another narration, ها ذم اللذات. So this hadith has 3 narrations. One of them with ha dim, another one with ha zim, a third one with ha zim. Ha dim, the destroyer. Ha zim, the cutter, the one that cuts something. Ha zim, hazim, the defeater, الذي يهزم. Ha zim with dal, the cutter, the one that cuts, which means Prophet Muhammad is advising us. Try to mention the defeater, the cutter, the destroyer of desires. Most of us, even though we love Allah in theory, even though we admit that we are believers, even though we love Allah and we cry many times, but when desires come, some of us can't resist. True or false? True or false? Okay, I know. I know that the respect of my mother, even if she did something bad, has a high priority in Islam. It's not me who decides this, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Verily, indeed, Allah has commanded you, has ordained upon you that not to worship anyone but Allah and to respect your parents. In another ayah, وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. If they were doing their best to ask, to push you to commit kufr and to associate another God with Allah, even though they are doing this intentionally, pushing you to leave the deen, and they are attacking your religion, pushing you, yet respect them and deal with them in a respectful manner. Okay, this is the status of parents. My father is a tough person, my mother is a tough person. That's happening, they are so all the time provoking me. I'm not able to control myself. Imagine I am from the people who say, karamti awwalan. You know this saying, karamti awwalan? My dignity is first. I don't allow to anyone speak in a normal way. Okay, he did a mistake. He spoke with me in a non-proper way. So I'm screaming, shouting in his or her faith. Now this is considered in Islam a major sin. Being rude with your mother or your father is a major sin. يعني ايش؟ كبائر. يا عمي اوكي. طيب how to control myself? One of the amazing ways أكثر من ذكري هادم اللذات. Okay? يا عمي طب this has nothing to do with لذة. No, the desire of taking revenge for yourself is لذة. Okay? Taking revenge is لذة. I'm satisfied. Okay, I don't allow anyone to that. Oh. For example, someone did make a mistake. In Islam, it's highly appreciated to forgive. Highly encouraged to forgive. Don't take revenge. Can you just forget it? Can you close your eyes? Yes. For the sake of Allah, do it, please. If you are a believer, forgive, because you yourself, you will commit a sin with him or with the others or a mistake. Please, forgiveness should be, we say, Alhamdulillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You know, the most compassionate, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, be Rahim, have mercy, have compassion, do it. He did a mistake with me. I'm able just to pay him back. I'm able to take revenge physically. My tongue is very sharp. I can do it. This is shahwa, by the way. This is one of the desires. To bring back my right, to take revenge, to destroy him, I will show him. Now these kind of desires, or the normal desires, like for example, watching porn, or the porn things. طب it's haram. كل المؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم وكل المؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهم. We are asked and commanded to lower our gaze, not to look to these haram things. Is it a desirable thing? Is it? Is it a desirable human thing or not? The sexual appetite, is it a very powerful, desirable thing or not? It is. It is. Okay, it's a haram channel now. Okay, what to do, what to say? One of the amazing solutions is أكثر من ذكر هادم إلا that, because when death is mentioned, it cuts this kind of connection with this bad thing. Okay? Now, this is one of the ways of how to detach myself from dunya and how to try to connect myself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Imam al-Hasan al-Basri, from the tabi'een, from the followers of the companions, radiyallahu anhum jami'an. He says, يَا ابْنَ آدَمْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ أَيَّامٌ فَإِذَا ذَهَبَ يَوْمٌ ذَهَبَ بَعْضُكَ. Hey, human being, you are just a number of days. Whenever a day is missed, part of you is missed. That's why sometimes Now, what I will say is something very personal. I'm not generalizing, it's not a law. What I will say now, okay? It's my personal thinking. So I'm not asking you to think exactly in my way, but just I'm giving you some ways of thinking. I personally, sometimes, have strange feelings when I say someone celebrating his birthday, very happy, even though his relation with his Lord is completely disconnected. I say La ilaha illallah. Having a new year in your life means what? Practically, you are much more closer to death. 1 year more means 1 year closer to death. The more year, mashallah, I'm 21 now. So you have just 10 years left. Or 20 years, or whatever. MashaAllah, I'm 60. You have just 5 left. MashaAllah, I'm 70. Okay, you have just 2 days left. So please review reconsider. So MashaAllah, I have a birthday. No, by the way, no problem to celebrate your birthday. I'm not discussing it itself. I'm discussing how come I'm very happy celebrating the fact that I became 50, yet no consideration at all for the ultimate fact that I'm closer to leave. If you are leaving, prepare yourself for leaving this place. We agreed upon the first segment, if you remember, the first session, that this is the most powerful ultimate reality on ourselves, death. No one can deny death. So now, reminding myself with this, that's why Prophet said, which means not just mention it at the time of Azab. MashaAllah, it's called Azab. In many, unfortunately, the Azab or the condolence, for example, what we say, Bayt al-Ajr, okay? Many people, when they go, they are smoking. I'm talking about the men side now. Women, in general, much more better than men. They have durus, they have lessons, they recite the Quran. But men, at least in my Jordanian culture, most of the men, in many cases, they do what? Chatting and smoking and sometimes laughing. Sometimes saying jokes. Oh, Shan Allah, we are here. Now basically, it was highly recommended as a sunnah to go to the house of Azab so that what? Why? To remember. To remember what? Remember him, Ya Ammi, he has left, khalas, Allah yarhamu. Remember what? Me. Remember that I'm gonna face same reality. Prepare yourself. So how to simply keep bringing this to your life, which means it's like وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Imagine this is the screen, okay? Now when you open the desktop, sometimes, underline you have these tabs, sometimes you have minimize tabs, and you have minimized, you can double click, what you do? Maximize. Now look at us, what? Now sometimes you have an icon or a program or a content or a software which is hidden in the hard disk. Some of us, they do double click this and they open it on the RAM and it is on the desktop but minimized. Okay? Some of us, they keep it minimized and every day 5, 10 times they just maximize, then minimize. Maximize, minimize. What's this? Remembering. Remembering the ultimate reality. Maximize it, put it, oh my God, so, astaghfirullah, okay? I'm watching something bad, oh my God, wow, what's this? Astaghfirullah, it's finished. Quickly, cleanse very quickly, okay? أكثر من ذكر هادم إلا that. This is the practical way. Otherwise, I'm just, with the curve in a very bad way. Okay. How the realization of death brings life to my heart. Now, another rule that will help me. Realizing that this is an ultimate reality and keep remembering and doing part of the dhikr of Ya Allah, arhamna inda al-maut. Ya Allah, please send your mercy upon us when we die. So I'm remembering death, for example, okay? اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك اللهم اغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد اللهم نقهم من الخطوب والذرع والآثام blah 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 remembering. This will help me to keep repenting. What is repenting? From the word tawbah. You know tawbah in Arabic? Taba yatubu tawban. At-tawbu in Arabic al-rujua, which means returning back to, which means this is, so I went astray outside the straight line, so when I came back again to the line, I'm doing tawb in Arabic language, okay? This is at-tawbu. At-tawbu means, okay, whatever you do, but please come back again. We all know repentance as a concept. But what helps me to repent? Mentioning death. Because I know that I need tawbah. I'm in need of tawbah. I want to repent, but I'm not able. But how to do it? Bring the magical solution, i.e. death. Bring death to the desktop. Maximize it in front of you. Keep remembering this. This will help in the Mawla Azza wa Jal. Now, okay, how can we bring death? Now, sorry, to bring death. Realization of death brings life to our hearts. Now, what kills some of our hearts basically is the depression or the frustration from losing the hope. Losing the hope. Look, I'm oppressed. They are attacking me. They have taken my everything I own. They are against me. I lost, whatever. Now, the average person, as a human person, when he's attacked by big powers, whether politically, whether socially, whether whatever, we all of us, we face some difficulties in our lives. Sometimes the scale is very high. I'm attacked, let's say, by a huge, okay, big, giant powers. I'm not able to do anything. Normally, mathematically, I'm supposed to be completely frustrated. خلاص. Now, wow, so this one is down. Wait. Bring the magical solution, death. Well, okay. You will see what will happen the day of judgments. I know. If I couldn't have it today, I will have it there. I don't have, no. We say, if you are a believer, your way of operation basically, worldly life, barzakh, and hereafter. That's why, by the way, I remember myself, if you are a believer, by the way, if you are a believer, you have to keep reminding yourself, whatever you face, what all kind of problems you might be facing, remind yourself with this kind of ultimate reality. My big film, my big story starts here and it ends there. It does not end here. By this, you come all the time. But does this mean that I will not take my right here? I'm not saying this. You have a lot of means to bring your right back. But you need power now. How to bring the power? How to bring back life to your death when you see this kind? One of the solutions is bringing what? The fact of death. Okay, don't be frustrated, because at any time everything will be finished. At any time. By the way, from one angle, this will give you power. Because, am I going to stay in this disaster for 70 years? No, because maybe tonight you are passing away. So, do whatever you can, because at any moment you are leaving. This is not a call to sleep. This is a call not to be frustrated and to lose the hope. The other side of the coin. If I am the bad guy, not the oppressed one. If I am what? The bad person. I'm the one who is oppressing others. Arrogance. I have the power. Physical power, money power, social power, whatever. Okay. So I did it. I don't care. I know I did something bad, but I don't care. I feel, I know, but simply, but how to control this kind of giant inside myself? Bringing what? Death. Because death means the end of the story. Death means now whatever, no matter how powerful you are, you will be facing the mightiest power on this universe, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. Now, sorry, how many minutes do I have, sister? Huh? 20? What's the time now? Okay, sorry. Right, now this is like a very quick, say, insight about how can we bring, let's say, life to our deaths. Now, I understood because there was some kind of slight problem. The one who was supposed to come after me, she was not able to come. I was asked to continue. I will have just small, quick break. Then I will be delving into the idea of suicide committing and those how to deal with this. And some questions came to me about, okay, some people in terms of as long as we are discussing the concept of death, if someone committed suicide, are we allowed to pray the janazah on him or not, for example? Okay? طيب. If someone is thinking, if someone is having, thoughts regarding suicide, for example, how to deal with him? Shaming him, attacking him, rejecting him, or there's another way how to give him mercy and compassion to solve the problem. This is the 2 points I will be tackling in a few minutes. Now, just to what I have highlighted now, is it possible to receive one question from the sisters, one question from the brothers, just to break, this kind of the norm? Then I will continue. I'm sorry, I was supposed to finish my talk. I was asked to continue. Do you have a question about what I have highlighted so far? Direct question to what I have said. Do you have any question? Sisters, brothers? Any question? No questions. Sure? Everything is clear? No one is facing any problem with this topic? Are you sure? Just one question. No questions. Like, sometimes some people, they might feel shy, but wallahi, shuf, let me tell you something. Sometimes I know some few for sure, I believe for sure they have questions. But maybe they have the kind of, they are hesitating to say it. If I ask the question, they may know what I'm thinking. Sometimes you might receive a great reward and ajr by highlighting a question. Maybe tens of others will be benefited from your question. So please, if you have a serious status, okay, it does not mean necessarily you are facing the problem. If you know your friend, okay, your friend, your brother, your sister, your father, someone that you concern about, is facing a problem, can you highlight it just to have this kind of interaction? Then I will continue. Is there any? Yes, sister. Thank you very much. If you can speak loudly, I will repeat your question. Good. If I heard you well, she heard me saying it's better to not to take revenge, but to forgive. Why it's better? This is your question? Okay, good. I can answer this question. Thank you very much. Very good question. Why it's better to forgive? Why not to take revenge? I can give you a very classical, traditional answer, and I can give you a logical answer. Okay? Now, the classical answer, it's better because Allah has said it's better. So if you love Allah, follow what satisfies Allah. If this answer satisfies you, it's okay. But let's go in depth more. This is part of what we call ethics, morals. Imagine that everyone is facing something bad, immediately he's taking revenge. How humanity will live together? Full destruction. Because definitely my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife, my son, my daughter, at any moment might do something bad with me, even without intention. Is it possible or not? If the immediate revenge is the solution, humanity is destroyed. So it's better to maintain humanity. But it's better to stay humans. That's why it is a divinely made, built-in system to do this type of ethical things. And another way of answer, this is the second approach. Third approach, have you heard about what we call the golden rule worldwide between religions? Do you know what's the golden rule between religions? Who knows what's the golden rule? Yes, sister. Yeah. Do you know? Exactly. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fiki. Wish to others what you wish to yourselves. Do to others what you would others do to you. By the way, this exists in man-made religions and heavenly religions. All of the religions, they have it. In our traditions, it is لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. This is a golden rule, a built-in divine system. If I made a mistake with someone, do I love him to take revenge against me or to forgive me? To forgive me, so forgive others. So you have 3 steps of how to deal with this question. It's either just because Allah has commanded, or to keep humanity, or because this is what I love, so do to others what you love to yourself. So if 3 altogether, it will be the best. One of them is good. Tamam? Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. طيب, another question? Yes, brother. I'm sorry, I did not notice. This is the brother here. Yes. Can you take the mic? Yeah.
My question is from the panel discussion regarding organ donation. Like, if the person is alive, he or she can donate with condition, right? If medical research, if like to save a life, right? So, what if the person is dead after, like, you know what I mean? Like, the chef, he mentioned that it's most recommended if the person is dead. Well, to take the organ is most recommended. But what if the person, like, you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna take the permission from that? Like, the person is already dead, but while he or she was alive, he or she was known to not be, like, not donate any organ.
Thank you, brother. Jazakallah khair. Brother, to be honest with you, I did not listen to the panel discussion. Plus, I'm not expert in this, and this is a very deep has to do with Islamic jurisprudence, and I don't know in this specific topic. So I have to apologize that I don't know. I'm very sorry.
Panel discussion, and inshallah the Sheikh will be back to answer those questions about organ donations and everything else you sent.
Another question? What is it? Sorry. Yes, brother Bilal.
Can you please tell Khalid Tarabi to leave me alone?
Brother Khalid Tarabi, please can you leave him alone?
That is my question.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, Salwa. That was a request. No, the question that I have about mourning is many different people mourn in a very different way. Like, a lot of families, they mourn in a different way because of, not just because of Islamically, we know how we should, I hope we know how we should mourn, but culturally, like, I'll give an example. They have, which I hope, some people follow this. They'll have like a death anniversary or something like that.
Yes.
Like, right? They'll have the 3 days, they'll have the 7 days, and all that stuff.
Yes.
You'll have some other cultures where also even the azab,
yes,
they'll have it, even when the deceased person's family, they have actually, mashallah, Allah helped them with the patience to overcome the challenges. But you still have people go into their house or the place of azan, and they sit in there, they eating, they drinking, and they, not drinking, juice.
I know.
You know? And they do all this. Can you please elaborate a little bit more about this actual topic of, you know, like, let's say, for instance, the death anniversary? Is there such thing in Islam called death ceremony? 3 days, 7 days, and whatever, 40 days?
To the best of my knowledge, this does not exist in the Islamic teachings. Okay? In the Islamic teachings, to the best of my knowledge, basically, now we are asked to do the azab, the condolence, to go to the people, to the family, to make it, you know, easy for them. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, one of the things that we know, that he asked the people when the martyr Ja'far Tayyar radiyallahu anhu, he passed away, قال اصنعوا لآل جعفر الطعام فإنهم قد شغلوا بميتهم, which means make the food for them. Now, basically, we are asked to help them, especially in the first day, from one angle. Now, we are not asked in Islam for 3, 7, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. This is most of them, if not all of them, they are just traditions. Now, can we say all of these traditions basically are bid'ah or bid'ah and it's haram? The answer is no, we can't generalize this. Are you with me, brother? So, in Islam, for example, now, we look to this from traditional point of view, we look to the core of the concept of innovation or bid'ah. Now, one of the definitions of bid'ah, you need two conditions to be fulfilled to consider something as bid'ah or innovation in Islam. This is something that should be new and it should go against Islamic principles. Not just one condition, not just to be new, okay? To have another condition which is to go against Islamic spirit or principles. Now, if it's an organizing matter and it does not hurt anyone, no problem. So it's a negotiable thing. I can't say, for example, in Jordan, let's say, in Jordan, some people, it's like a tradition. The family of X family, they say, okay, the food in this day, we will take care of it. Next day, this family. Third day, fourth family. In a way, just by saying, okay, it's on me and that's it. No one negotiate with this. Now, okay, it's a good habit. Good, nice. Sometimes it goes against the principles of Islam. How? We made an amazing, a lot of food to a degree. If anyone else has the azab, did not do exactly the same, they will look at him down, shame on you. Why you did not bring a lot of food like your cousin? So now it became like showing off sometimes, which is against Islamic principles. I'm giving an example. Now keep going all the time making problems for they are not able to take rests. I'm not talking about haram and bid'ah now. I'm talking now, if this country, in this tradition, they are happy with this, happy I mean, they need it and it's acceptable in this mentality and culture, I can't say it's haram. But if all the people, when they sit alone, they are complaining, please someone has to raise up the flag and say, Ya Ammi, ittaqullah in what you do. This is not part of Islam and we are all hurted by this. So there is no one clear cut to say everything outside is haram or everything is acceptable because there's nothing. So it's a negotiable thing. Even though I would love not to discuss these things still because I'm very far from these tiny detailed fiqh, juridical things. I would love, please, to ask me, I hope that I answered part of your question. If it's possible, to ask me about what I have said, not about what other people said. If it's possible.
I have a question.
Okay, final question. Now we'll talk about suicide and we'll finish, inshallah. Yes.
You mentioned how we should view death as not something that's painful. We need to be ready and look at it as a glad tidings because we're hoping to get, inshallah, resurrected and go to Jannah and be rewarded for what we did. Of course, the principle is very clear. But we hear stories, or we read a lot of stories about some Sahaba and Tabi'een. While experiencing death, they were so scared, and when they were told, you have done so much, like Umar ibn Khattab and others, they said, I can't, I don't trust that I was good enough to enter heaven. So, how can we...
No contradictions. We are discussing the VIPs now. You know the VIPs? The VIPs, their criteria of judging themselves is very high and very accurate. You know the perfectionists? Perfectionists, okay? They say, unless I achieve 99.99999, I'm not successful. This is high criteria. The way that, like Ahmed Muhammad, the way he was judging himself, we can't afford. 99%, we can't. It's good to see it like a star, to keep chasing. But it's not necessarily all of us can reach this. The general rule, in الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تنزل عليهم and you will feel happy in general. Now those people who are scared, not because they did something bad, it is the rule, but they are very sensitive. They are thinking about the 1,000,000% of what they might have done, not about what they did. Now Allah deals with us according to the average. The average is us. Us, Allah, may Allah be with us. And our criteria is between, let's say, 50, 51, 60, 70. So those are the VIPs. So no contradiction. Special group. يعني على قولة إخواننا المصريين بتوع ربنا هذول. Special case. No problem, no contradiction. والله أعلم. طب let me finish with, because this question is very important. Someone, thank you very much, جزاكم الله خير. And we will finish with this. I was asked the question of those who commit suicide. Some people, they hear the hadith, Prophet ﷺ, that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ refused to pray the janazah on someone who committed suicide. He killed himself. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ refused to pray the janazah. Okay? Is this an Islamic ruling? Is it the final and end, whatever, blah, 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 blah? The answer is no. We have to realize the following. Let's continue, know the context. Someone killed himself at the time Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So they brought him to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to pray the janazah. He said, when he knew that he killed himself, he refused. That's true. But he continued by saying, "In shittum fasallu ala sahibikum." If you wish, you pray. What does this mean in the science of Islamic jurisprudence? He did not practically, but he encouraged them to pray. The first one, by committing suicide, it's not necessarily he has committed kufr. Because he told them, if you wish, make the janazah prayer on him. Which means, now why he refused? One of the amazing, beautiful analysis by the scholars is the following. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the best of the creation. If he raised up his hand by saying, Ya Allah, ighfir li fulan, Allah will forgive. Prophet Muhammad, as if he was afraid that they will make advantage of this. Okay, I want to get rid of this life. Ya Allah, Prophet Muhammad will pray on me, I go to the Jannah. Very easy way. La. He wanted to send the lesson. Don't ever think that you will escape with it. I will not allow you to create a sunnah. You kill yourself, I pray on you, you go to the Jannah. La, baby. No. If you did, I will not pray. It's as a matter of, hey, wait, it's not a joke. Don't play games, okay? Which means you want to keep them under the, the status of normal fear. You are committing a great sin, but it's not committing for kufr, okay? Is it clear? So this is what might be contradiction. So are we allowed? Yes, are we allowed? This is a great sin. It's like not praying. It's a great sin, but it's not kufr. Like drinking alcohol, great sin, not drinking. Like having drugs, great sin, but it's not kufr. Still, he's a Muslim. He's a believer. Yes, it's like many other sins. Okay, one exceptional case, which is applicable not just on suicide, on any other sin. In the Islamic terminology, it's called قال فاعل الشيء منكرا لحكمه. If someone said, okay, forget now suicide, let's come out drinking alcohol. If someone is drinking alcohol, knowing that this is alcohol, in Islam, is it a sin or not? Okay. This sin, if I repent, the possibility is there to be completely what? Deleted. Khalas, everything is finished. True or false? Time. In Islam, if I'm not, what will make this thing is just a sin? If I know it is haram, I believe it is haram, prohibited, and I'm doing it knowing and believing it's haram. This means this is a sin, and most likely I will be forgiven. But if I said, hey, who told you asla it's haram? No one has the right upon me to tell me what's haram and halal. Forget this thing. I don't accept asla it's haram. This is a denial for the hukum from Allah. This is a direct rejection for Allah's, power upon me. This status, I'm committing kufr. Which is very rare, by the way. I think 99.99999% of people, when they do sins, they don't have this attitude. So it's not applicable to most of the people. Many people, when they do sins, they know it's haram, but they do it, Ya Shaykh, Allah yaghfirna. Wallah, may Allah forgive me. When I'm doing the haram, I know it's haram. But kasal, laziness, weakness, whatever. But this is a very exceptional case. So this is applicable in everything, not just suicide. If someone is committing suicide, believing that Allah has no right upon him to take care of his body because this body is a trust under my hand. By the way, I forget to give you the justification why suicide committing is haram in Islam. Because in Islam we believe our bodies are what? A trust under hand. By the way, in Islam, I do not own my body. Now? Sure? I don't own my body. يا عمي احكي لك حكي ثاني شو انت my body. You don't own your body. It is Allah's what? It belongs to Allah. It's a trust with you. You have to take care with it. Don't hurt it. That's why in Islamic rulings, if someone say, Sheikh, this is my body, true? Okay, I said, okay, what do you want to say? Okay, I want to injure myself. حر. Say, لا مش حر. Wallah, you are not free to do it. It's haram. Ya ammi, my hand, my arm. No, I'm sorry to tell you, this is not your arm. Wallahi. Wallahi, it's a trust. You have no right to harm it. That's why when I decide to stop, finish my life, okay, I'm not allowed to do so. So I'm committing haram. I'll be allowed to do it, but I'm a sinful person and there's consequences of accountability. طيب, this is haram. Don't do it. I will do it. Don't do it. I will do it. Okay? I'm a sinful person. Go and repent and fix it. Don't repeat it again. Okay? So this is the philosophy. So the problem with commit suicide, I am taking a decision in what do I do not own. This is why committing suicide is haram. It's Allah who decides to separate the soul from the body. It's not you. If you decide to do it, Allah will enable you and you will take the decision, face the consequences. And this is suicide. But if I did it, okay, because psychologically I was very tough way, I feel very bad, I was taking some medications, or I don't understand out of ignorance, I'm a sinful person. It's a big sin, a huge sin, but it is not kufr, and I'm still a believer, and the people should pray janazah on me. Is it clear? Jazakumullah khair. I think I'm supposed to finish. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I know that's what I was saying. I think
stop the thing.
How?
They want to start right, I think. It's interesting.